I've always felt a calling to serve. I honor my grandparents for that. My paternal grandparents were in love their whole 60 years of marriage, and they were involved in their community, and they were involved in their church, and they loved people. And I just feel like, and they served, they passed along that gift of service to me, and I just feel like I need to pay it forward. It just fills my soul.
I'm Ann Donnelly. Join me for an intimate look at the minds of the innovators and leaders shaping our region. We aren't just talking business, we're talking legacy. From the North Country Media Network, upstate New York's Voices of Authority, this is Building Success Stories, and it's time to start building yours. So I'm here today with Sharon Horton, who is the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity, Northern Saratoga, Warren, and Washington counties.
You got it.
All right. Did it used to be Southern?
So it still holds the name of Glens Falls Area Habitat for Humanity. It's the original incorporated name. The AKA is the Northern Saratoga, Warren, Washington counties, and we're in the process of getting that completely switched over so that there's not those two names that are floating around. So obviously the AKA describes us better.
Yeah. So that's indicative of a change that has come to this organization in the past year, right? Like when did you come on board as the executive?
I came on board in June of last year. So, a year and a half, or I'm sorry, a little over a half a year.
Yep. Were you before then?
I was with the National Alliance on Mental Illness, New York State. And then before that, the American Heart Association. And before that, the American Cancer Society.
So you have an extensive background in nonprofit. So what drew you to working in the nonprofit?
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't really know that I was going into nonprofit really back in the 2008-2009 economic crash. I was working at an event facility called Perthshire. I had been there for 6-7 years, and things started to change there. And that same year, 2009, I lost my mom to ovarian cancer. And after a 3-year, very tough battle, and I took some time away. I took a leave of absence from my role at Perthshire. I was the general manager there. And after a few months, I went back to resume my role, and my boss told me he was dying.
Oh, wow.
Of a liver failure. And so I kind of had to I was faced with making a big decision. Like, do I stay here, after he passes and, have a new owner, or, I couldn't really wrap my head around that. And I had been doing some very close work with the Chamber of Commerce in Fulton, Montgomery County, with bringing bus tours in to our event facility for dinner theater, because we were, strategizing about how we could.
Where is it located?
It's in considered Broadalbin, between Broadalbin and Amsterdam.
So did I tell you I'm from Gloversville?
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When you said you were from Gloversville, I was like, oh,
Fulton County,
my area. Yeah. So weddings, events, that kind of thing. You would have definitely, if you were in that area.
I think I know what it is. Like, I left that area in 81, but my sister's still living over there. So I think I remember that, like, before you get to Bell's Mills.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it had its like biggest growth period, not to like pat myself on the shoulder, but between that, like, 2002 to 2008 period, we really grew exponentially. We brought in dinner theater during the week. And so my relationship with the chamber was such that I just asked, do you guys have anything? And they did. And so I joined the chamber.
So you worked for the chamber?
Yeah, I worked for the chamber for a short period of time. It was not a really great paying job. And so I had gone, in a big, it was a big financial shift, because I was making about half of what I was making in my role as general manager at the Pershire. So
Yeah, that's the nonprofit.
yeah.
Right.
So, but that started that nonprofit trail because, then I was able to have an opportunity at the Cancer Society, and that was in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Oh,
I had friends down there living there. And just wasn't good up here. And I wasn't, making anywhere near what I was making before, and things were expensive, and it was just a tough time financially. And they said, come on down here. There's work here. Nothing's changed. Like, it's still rocking and rolling in Florida. And so I started looking, and I found the job with cancer, moved my family down to Jupiter and started working for the Cancer Society down there for making strides against breast cancer.
wow.
And I oversaw 3 community-wide walks, making strides against breast cancer walks
Wow.
in West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, and Stewart. Yeah,
So that was your entry into nonprofits.
that was
So you
real my
used your
yeah.
leadership skills that you had in hospitality
Yes, ma'am.
to the nonprofit sector.
It did. It meshed well because I knew events, I knew operations, I knew managing staff or managing volunteers. It just all,
Mhm.
kind of seamlessly transitioned together.
And then what came next?
And so I loved my time in Florida. It was fabulous, probably like your time in Ireland. It was not as long as I would have liked it. I was there about 4 years, and I had some family up here that needed me, and that's what we all move for, right?
Right,
Family.
yeah.
And so yeah, I moved back for family to take care of some elderly family, and at that point, I found the role with the Heart Association. And it was a walk role, so it was overseeing the Heart Walk, and it quickly transitioned into other campaigns and programs that they
Mhm.
had there, because I love to learn and I love to do something different. So um, that was really fun. I was there for 6.5 years, um, connected with a lot of really great people, and I had a great team. I just actually messaged the team the other day because a memory came up on Facebook where I was like pointing to my new sign outside my office for Heart, and obviously that was the day I started, and it was
Oh,
10
wow.
years
Mhm.
ago. So I was like, so I, just gave 'em
Memories.
like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm thinking about you.
That's nice though
Can you
that you
believe it
still
was 10
have
years ago?
that
Yeah,
feeling, a good feeling.
yeah.
And then what came after
And
heart?
then, well, this
Cancer, heart.
I know. I just kind of ran the gamut of the nonprofit space. Um, and so I had been ready for a challenge, like the next step up for a couple of years, with Heart. After doing the role with cancer, which was, development, fundraising, event management, that kind of thing. It just had been a while, like 8, 9 years. And so I'd started to plug around and look around for an executive director job because that would be the next
Yeah.
step up. And I was on the board of NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness in the Capital Region. I served on their board. I have my eldest son lives with serious mental illness, and so I'd been a supporter and advocate for NAMI for a number of years. And it just came up through my email one day that the state chapter was looking for an executive director. And I knew that was for me. Yeah, I had a passion, connected, the passion I had with the advocacy for my son. And, it elevated my career. And so that was next. And
Right.
I did a lot of work with NAMI at the Capitol doing advocacy, legislative action, which I'd
Mhm.
never done before. And it was such a joy.
Mhm.
Um, Wonderful feeling to advocate for humans, for
Yeah.
humanity, for
Yeah,
what's right.
right.
I do miss that a little bit. And um, after initiating some programming, smoothing over operations there, putting some processes in place to be in a really strong place. I came across this role, and it was just kind of divine intervention. I think I was burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
I was overseeing 24 affiliates across the state.
Mm-hmm. Because it was a statewide
It's a
position.
statewide
Yeah.
position. Although I loved my role and I loved the people I interacted with and those people I served, I almost felt like it was too close,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense,
Yeah,
because my son
definitely.
was so greatly affected by it, and it just was burning. I was
Yeah,
burning the candle at
yeah.
both ends.
That's maybe the downside. Like they always say the ideal is to have a career where you can blend your expertise and your passion. But like you said, if you're too close to it, like it it could lead to burnout then.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I found this position with Habitat, and it felt good, like
Mhm.
boots on the ground, more
Mhm.
grassroots, digging into the people where I've, spent a lot of my time in
Yeah.
nonprofit is, interacting, connecting community, connecting, volunteers and sponsors and donors. And
Mhm.
it felt good. It felt like the right
Yeah.
thing to do. And so I came on in June of 2025, and we've been rocking and rolling since.
Why don't you tell me more about Habitat? Because like I'm fairly aware of Habitat, but not everyone might be. So.
Sure. Yeah. And I think you're right. I think there is a misunderstanding, as is in a lot of causes. I think people, unless they're educated, don't really understand the ins and outs of nonprofit. So, Habitat's mission is to connect people together to build community homes and connection.
Mhm.
And so what Habitat does in real words is we serve hardworking families who fall between the 50 and 80% AMI, that's the average median income. Here in Warren, Washington County, that's, between like 50 to 54,000 up to
Mhm.
80, I think 80 to 84, somewhere in that range. And so those hardworking families, if they're ready for home ownership, if they're fiscally ready, meaning they've put a little money in the bank, they've got their credit's pretty good, and they've been thinking about home ownership for a while. If they're financially ready, if they're willing to invest hours, we require sweat equity
Mhm.
hours. So they would have to volunteer either on their own home or someone else's home or here in the Restore,
Mhm.
the Southern Adirondack
Yes.
Restore. Willingness, financial readiness, and need. So they have to have some sort of need, either their rent's too high, their housing that they're
Mhm.
paying is too high, which is pretty common
It's a
nowadays.
huge issue in this area.
Uh-huh.
Every area probably, but
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Or, maybe there's some issues in the home they're in now. There's mold, or there's
Mhm.
rodents or leaks or whatever. There's an established need
Helping
for
people make
housing.
that change over to home ownership versus renting
Yes,
and, maybe not be able to find something suitable rent-wise.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes, and home ownership is empowering, and interestingly, I served on the board of Habitat for Humanity in Fulton County back when I was with the Fulton
Okay.
County
Mhm.
Chamber. I served as their secretary. So, um, when I came on board here, the alignment for me was like that I had been a single mom with 3 children,
Mhm.
buying my first home, and I knew how I felt after that happened. Like I can feel it now,
Yeah.
right? I could feel the feeling of sitting in my home that I worked hard to build or to get to that stage in my life, and feeling empowered. Like I did this.
Yeah.
It was hard. And it's been hard still, as a
Yeah.
mother of children,
Mhm.
maintaining and keeping a home is a challenge, but it's all so worth it, because that investment in yourself and your family, the legacy that you leave for your children, I know how that feels. So, that really is a passion for me, and it resonates, that connection to Habitat's work
That's
of,
so important.
yeah, providing that opportunity.
Yeah. So a lot of people think about Habitat where you get like the group of volunteers that are building a home that is then going to go to one of these families. Is that still how Habitat works?
That's a good question. Habitat is evolving as most nonprofits are, in the challenge of how building prices are going up
Mhm.
and, all costs are increasing. So there's been a lot of discussion about change of strategy and how Habitat builds homes. And we've got some great relationships with some modular home builders in the area. And we have found through research, through touring those facilities, the quality of these made homes,
Mhm.
modular homes. They make them in factory, they're airtight.
Mhm.
And so we're turning towards that
So the modular.
concept of
Yeah.
modular homes, still using
Yeah. Yeah.
volunteers, except for that home is nearly complete, right?
Yeah.
At least the shell
Yeah.
is complete.
Mhm.
So we put the home together, and then we need a whole slew of volunteers to paint and to,
Mhm.
put doorknobs or lay sod in the front yard and
Mhm.
do landscaping. And so there's a lot
Make
of
it habitable.
to make it habitable and to make it ready for the homeowner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the homeowner can be a part of that too, which is, I think, really powerful. You have that
Mhm.
sweat equity, that skin in the game kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So how many people are you able to help, say, in a year's time, or what would be a typical amount of time that you'd be dealing with the family?
That's a good question too. And this will go back to the modular strategy. The modular strategy does give us an opportunity to serve more families in a more efficient time frame.
Yeah.
In a stick build, in the previous strategy of building homes, I mean, it would take a year or more
Mhm.
to build a home. You buy the land or you get the land donated, hopefully,
Yep.
because that gets us in a good place.
Mhm.
And then you have to build the foundation and you have to install the water and the electricity. And there's so many parts of that concept that takes so much time. And I've learned this. I've not been in
Yeah.
housing before,
Yes,
but I've
right?
learned
It's a
this. And
whole other area for you.
wow, yeah. And we have a modular build that we're doing in Warrensburg, and I've just watched the length of the process. We set the
Mhm.
house in October, and here we are going into March, and we're not even to the volunteer place yet where we
Mhm.
can bring
Oh,
in
wow.
volunteers. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's just,
'Cause here you gotta deal with the weather.
oh,
There's only a
yes.
certain amount of time in the year that you can be doing some of this work.
Oh, yes. The weather has held us back a lot. And I feel really bad for the poor gentleman who had to roof in this weather.
Oh, wow.
Very cold, very snowy. Having to fight those
Mhm.
elements has definitely delayed us.
Mhm.
So, to answer your question, this year we're building three. So we've got one in Warrensburg, two in Hudson Falls. So we'll have three
Mhm.
families. Next year, we hope that's more because we're implementing this modular, um, potentially multi unit
Oh, yes.
strategy.
I think I heard about that.
So
Yeah.
townhomes, owner occupied
Mhm.
townhomes. We're looking at areas that we can develop that plan in and partners who we can work with to get that done so that we are serving more than one or two or three families a year. We're
Yeah.
serving 10 or more
Yeah.
families a year
Yeah.
because it is a
And
process.
that's kinda community building as well, like
Hmm.
neighbors and yeah. Do you
Absolutely.
find I don't know, I mean, is there a stigma to the
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. I've had, as I've learned.
But they're this isn't a it's a charity, but like you said, these people have to be put in the sweat equity, they have to have some of the funding towards it, and then
Correct.
they have the responsibility then to pay off a mortgage. Yeah.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, I'm sorry
So
if I didn't finish that thought
no, no,
earlier.
that's fine.
Yes. So the homeowner qualifies for the mortgage once they go through Habitat's
Yeah.
application process. We do have a pretty involved application process. You have to meet that criteria. Once you've met that criteria, we introduce you to our lender. That lender takes it from there and gets that family qualified for a mortgage. We raise money. We hope to have grants from
Mhm.
municipalities government funding, federal and state,
Yeah.
and we layer this funding to get the mortgage price down. So, for example, we might build a house for 350,000. If we can raise $100,000, that family is paying a mortgage of 250,000. So it's more affordable for them.
Yes.
And a Habitat family can't sell their home. They have to live in their home.
Yeah.
We intend this to
Mhm.
be, their first home for a considerable amount of time, if
Yeah.
not always,
Do you have a minimum amount of time?
15 years.
15 years.
So we hold a silent mortgage for that
Yeah.
time period,
Mhm.
for that funding
Yeah.
that's been granted.
Mhm.
So it
That
is
makes
a
sense.
truly a nonprofit relationship, and we are raising funds in order to do that. We do need community. We do need grant funding in order to build these homes at that affordable rate.
Yeah.
Many, many families
Mhm.
can't afford a $350,000
No.
mortgage. That's, I think we're in that direction where this is the average home
Prices are
price,
going
right?
up.
For 500,
Mhm.
$600,000. It's a double-edged sword. We live in a beautiful community
Yeah.
with beautiful homes, and
Mhm.
but not everybody can get there
Yeah.
at that
So
rate.
this is a helping hand.
Yes, it's a lift up.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is your mission? Like, what are you looking to do? Like they said these like developments where you can help more people at a time. Like that's a great mission. What do you need to do to get there?
Infrastructure,
Infrastructure.
capacity. This affiliate is, I would say, relatively small. Our footprint is not. We're not considered a small affiliate.
Yeah.
We're considered more of a mid-size affiliate because
Mhm.
we cover such a large
Mhm.
geographic region
So you say Northern Saratoga County, is that north of
north
Saratoga?
of Clifton Park,
North of Clifton Park. Okay.
up to, Warren, Washington.
Mhm.
So Hudson
Yep.
Falls, Glens
Yep.
Falls,
Up
Warrensburg,
Warrensburg. Yeah.
Lake George.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty wide footprint.
Mhm.
Even Saratoga County spreads
Mhm.
out, to
And Corinth
Galway,
is northern
Corinth.
Saratoga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of rural
Yeah.
communities that
A lot
have
of need.
need.
Communities in need. Washington County's
Yes,
got a lot of that.
we're excited about Washington County, Hudson Falls this year. Yes, 2
Yeah.
homes. What we've created around the Hudson Falls project is a women's build,
Oh.
which is something that resonates greatly with me.
Okay.
I was very passionate about my work with Go Red for Women when I was with the Heart Association, empowering women, helping women to learn their, bodies and their health, and to be aware of their risk,
Mhm.
bringing women together to celebrate those who have survived, or those who have changed their lifestyle. Like, it just infuses me. I love it. So when I heard about Habitat's Women Build, I knew
Mhm.
that we had to do that and do it well, and do it regularly here. So
And what does
Hudson
that
Falls will be a
involve?
women
What does
build.
that involve?
It will be a house that we're building for a woman, by women.
Mhm.
And there will be a 4-week fundraising campaign, a competitive fundraising campaign that happens in the midst of that
Mhm.
build. So we'll be looking to identify 10 very connected, passionate women about supporting other women and
Mhm.
helping another woman's dream come true, to do some competitive fundraising. And then we'll jump on the job site and we'll build with that homeowner, and we'll celebrate
Yeah.
at the end when we give her those keys. So
That's amazing.
I just love the
'Cause I know
concept.
my mom was a single mom and she rented, and we were always in fear of what if they raised the rent. Luckily, the landlord for a number of years just kept it at $100 a month. Yeah, we were just very lucky that he felt sorry for my mom and could afford to let us live there.
Divine
But it was
intervention.
always that kind of fear of what would we do, not wanting to live in the project.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so the habitat then is going to be helping a woman like that. And then once you grow up in a home where you own the home, see, it's like generational. It could
Yes.
change the future of that whole family.
Absolutely. You've got, deeper roots, right? You've got planted
Yeah,
roots when you own a home. You get invested in that home. You're invested in the school your children go to.
yeah,
You're invested in the
yeah.
community that you're living in. You want it to thrive. You want to be a part of it. So, yeah, it's life
It's
changing.
exciting.
Hmm. It is exciting. Yeah. And as far as the, multiple unit builds, I talked about infrastructure and capacity. We need a really strong board
Mhm.
first. Right now, I'm the only employee of this affiliate.
Yes.
We have our Southern
Mhm.
Adirondack Restore. So we have staff that
Mhm.
oversee the
And
restore
it's
and
all
that work.
volunteer?
Not all volunteer.
Okay.
No, we have staff,
Oh,
part-time
you
and
do
full-time
have
staff.
okay.
We have a manager,
Mhm.
and we have volunteers in
Yeah.
addition to that.
Mhm.
So we do have the capacity to run the restore with staff and volunteers. Um, and on the organization level,
Yeah.
we need those volunteers, those board volunteers,
Mhm.
a diverse board with diverse skill sets so
Yeah.
that we can really grow this affiliate.
About
We have a workshop, an educational
oh,
workshop. We just did the in-person one on Wednesday. It was Homeownership 101.
it's exciting.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
really exciting. It's the first time we've done something like this, and we want to do a lot more of it. Um, Community education about homeownership or,
Yeah.
the
If your
process of it.
parents didn't own a home or you didn't have relatives that owned a home, it's something that's very foreign
It
and
is.
seems unattainable.
It seems unattainable. It's scary.
So you're educating people as well as helping them financially.
Yes. Yes. That's the vision is as we grow, as we um, engage capacity, we
Mhm.
build more board members, we uh, build our team
Mhm.
stronger here, that we'll have the capacity to expand and we can, really dig into a
Mhm.
homeowner education
Mhm.
pre and post homeowner, right? And then we can have more events and have more programming that
Mm.
we can extend to the community,
Yeah.
serving more people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really our vision. We just want to serve as many as we can.
That's
Yeah.
great. So
Yeah.
what are you looking for in board members?
We are looking for passion first. I always have said that in my nonprofit career that if you're not passionate about the mission that you're supporting, you just won't have the drive to extend the time because, who has time anymore,
Yeah.
right? It's a commitment. It's a
Mhm.
time commitment. If you're passionate about it, you'll make the time to do it. So I would say passion first, an interest in either learning or a skill set in the housing
Mhm.
arena, whether that's marketing communications, real estate, construction,
Mhm.
development. I mean, it can run the gamut. We need people who are experienced with law,
Mhm.
housing
Yeah, you
law,
need those a
a
variety of skill
variety.
sets. Yeah.
Yes. In order to have a strong
Mhm.
board, you really need a variety of skill sets and experiences.
Yeah.
Or people who want to learn too, right?
Mhm.
So that's what we're looking for as far as board
Mhm.
development. We're really in the midst of that here in the next quarter, building our board up and starting our new fiscal year July 1st with a brand new, stronger
Mhm.
board. Not brand new. We've got some
Yeah.
people on our board that we want to
Yeah.
keep. So,
Yes, right.
they should
It's not a
stay. I don't want that.
complete overhaul.
Yes, complete, comprehensive board. And then, bringing in some higher revenue, thinking about,
Mhm.
layering funding streams, certainly connecting more with
Mhm.
community to let community know how they can help, right? Land donations
Mhm.
or product donations or, you know, individual donations, corporate sponsorships. There's lots of ways to get involved. And I know there's a lot of
Mhm.
nonprofits to help. I'm very
Yeah,
aware
that's
of
the
this.
thing because it's been kind of an issue the past few year. I guess the past year it's been an issue about losing funding, federal funding in
Yeah,
particular, for across nonprofits. So now it's highly competitive
it is.
for people's money.
It is.
There's so many fundraising events going on that, you kind of have to stand out. What do you do to try to stand out?
That's a good
Right.
question too. I think I try to feel what other people would feel. So I put myself in the position of donors or
Mhm.
volunteers or board
Because you've got
members.
that strong development
Mm.
background, which you're bringing to this. So
Yeah.
events and things like that.
Yeah. I really think you have to listen first. I think you have to listen to what donors, board members, volunteers, anyone who's looking to connect with you or collaborate with you, you have to listen first.
Yeah.
What is it that they're looking for? How do they want to be involved in, charitable giving or charitable involvement? And meet them where they are, right? Not telling them this is what we
Yeah.
have and this is what, we need you to do. But in my experience, it really all comes down to listening
Yeah.
first.
And you've got a wide range of options for people to help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, really any part of volunteering or giving you want to get involved in, will make it happen. I mean, that's, in my opinion, how nonprofits should work.
Got the Restore shop here, which is people donating items, household items, furniture. Some of it has been used, some of it is new, I see, because I follow your Facebook page. Like, that's like the best way to see what's going on. And you'll have like brand new kitchen cabinets that someone has donated.
Yes.
Tiles and, materials and things like that. And then you've got like the dishes. In fact, I had collected with my mother these blue and white patterned dishes from the American Revolution from Grand Union back in the 70s, I guess, 80s, of 70s. Yeah. And I've got some of that set and I was like, oh, they've got the whole rest of the set.
Yeah.
It was pricey though. So, I mean, you've got some really nice things here. Like, I have a few things. I have a vanity that I got here. It was a job getting it home because it's got the mirror attached.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to be really careful with it.
Yeah.
And a bench.
Yeah.
So I have a few things from the
Great.
Restore in my home.
What I love about it is you're going to find things that are unique, right? Not necessarily cookie cutter. Surely you will find those things
like
too,
all
but
sorts of musical instruments,
one
records,
ounce
books, and just about anything you have here now.
Just about anything. Yeah. And I just love that you could buy something like, maybe that vanity you bought, and like not every single friend or family member has it in their home, right? It's a unique piece you can be proud of. So I love that. When I come in the store, nearly every time I come in here, there's something new. It's moved around and I have to put like blinders on, right?
I
Like,
bet if you're in here every
Just
day, I would
walk
be in
through.
so much trouble. Like, that's why I don't come in very often, because I know I'll buy something that I probably don't need, but it's like, oh, that's so cool. Or, oh, I always wanted one of those,
Yes. Well, if you've always wanted one, you should get it.
Yeah, right. You got to treat yourself.
Yes, you do.
And I know too that like we were looking at Weowaka is sort of a charity of the Lake George Chambers Women in Business Group. And for a couple of years, we were like taking one of the rooms that they have there and, painting it, and they needed new lamps. So we'd come somewhere like this to get, or I know people with Airbnbs often will use a place like this to furnish.
Yes.
Because you're getting nice things and, at a reasonable price, and it's for a really good cause.
Yes.
So.
Yes, it helps
think
us
about
build
the
homes.
Restore shop, and it's right on Route 9, so it's handy. Good location. Now
Very easy.
Moreau Commons is opened up next door. So, and there's a lot of development along this area. So this is going to bring a lot more attention
I heard that.
to this location.
Yeah.
And now that they've got the sewer lines all done in this area, there's development coming.
I've heard. I've learned a lot about the community, since I've I've grown up in the area. Similar to you, I grew up. I graduated from Amsterdam. I raised my kids in Broad Albin, and so that's where I've kind of set my roots because I have a home there. And so I've traveled. I've vacationed to Lake George, of course, a day trip, and skied West Mountain and all those things, but I haven't been ingrained in the community like I am now. And it's very interesting and beautiful. And I just love downtown Glens Falls. It's just, I choose that most often.
Yes.
to go out to dinner or to, meet for coffee or something.
Yeah.
In this area here, this corridor, I've heard a lot about the growth of this corridor,
Mm.
which is great for the
Yeah.
restore. Yeah.
Definitely good. Now, there was talk that this building was going to get redone. That got put on hold.
It's a little bit on hold. We're
Yeah.
strategizing
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
We have to prioritize funding and financing what we can. And right now, with these 3 homes this year, that's really important. The building of the homes.
Yeah.
Obviously, the restore is important. We want to rebuild our restore as well. I think I'm hoping by next year, the community will see a little bit about how the community can help make that happen.
Yeah.
But this year it's 3 houses.
Right.
Next year, fingers crossed,
Right. The
we can
10
start with the
or
restore.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then the restore. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But it's good as it is now. I mean, it's
We use our
yeah.
space as best
Yeah,
as we can.
absolutely. Like
We need
you've
more
got so
space.
much stuff packed in here.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. If we could find this, miracle building that
Mhm.
we could move our stuff into, that'd be great. But it's just there's nothing really available on the corridor,
Yeah.
and we want to stay here in this location. It's
Yeah.
important. Yeah.
A lot of traffic coming by
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Easy on
But after
17.
into Glens Falls,
Yep.
good traffic area. So what is the website that people can go to get more information?
The website's glensfallshabitat.org.
Okay.
And I know that's a little confusing.
But
You and I
that's
talked
what
about
it
that a
is. It
little.
is what it is.
We have
Yeah.
an established name, and we have an AKA name.
Yeah.
And you'll be seeing that change over the next year or so too, to Northern Saratoga, Warren, and Washington counties. And hopefully by that time, all of our
Mhm.
website and
Mhm.
contact information will be consistent.
So you're currently looking for new board members.
Yes, ma'am.
You're looking for support in many different ways financially, and you're going to have that women's build coming up, which
Women's
is
build.
I'm going to keep my eye on that happening going on.
Yep, women's build coming. Next year, we're planning to do a veterans build.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so we've got a partner that we're looking to do a golf tournament with in the end of this summer to fund a veterans house next year.
Exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we got
that's
a
great.
lot of dreams.
A
Got a lot of dreams, a lot of
You've got
vision.
your dreams that are going to help other people's dreams of home ownership
Yeah,
and
that's
some
always been my calling.
stability and happy family homes.
Yeah, it's just I've always felt a calling to serve. I honor my grandparents, my paternal grandparents for that. My paternal grandparents were in love their whole 60 years of marriage, and they were involved in their community, and they were involved in their church, and they loved people.
Mhm.
And I just feel like they served. They passed along that gift of service to me, and I just feel
Mhm.
like I need to pay it forward. It just fills my soul.
Thank you for joining me and listening to the Building Success Stories podcast. We've explored a lot of facts today, but more importantly, we've gained insight into what truly motivates and inspires a leader. Subscribe to the show so you never miss a lesson from our region's most influential voices. And if you found value, the best way to support the local business community is to share this podcast with one other leader who needs that spark today. For more information on the North Country Media Network, visit northcountry.media. I'm Ann Donnelly. Keep learning, keep leading, and keep building your success story.